and welcome back to to SFR in GP2 here in a very wet Austria here in the hills of Styria. I'm joined by SFR Martin. I am SFR Smithy, LRE Smithy, sorry.
You forgot you changed it.
Yeah, I'm too used to saying it. It's very wet. Not very. Yeah, gonna throw a little curveball. Yeah, it depends if it's a wet race as well. Because depends on if you want to prioritise your setup for quali or the race. As the top speed is quite important here. It's not really a downforce circuit, to be honest.
Yeah, I think this is one circuit where you just go with the race setup no matter what the quali weather's like. Although we don't know what the race weather's going to be like.
Yeah, I mean it could be wetter than this. Could be sunny and then wet maybe, but we don't know until we do end up getting onto the track, as the first car out is Mr. Wiggles in that Ferrari, and it's very. To be honest, I wouldn't expect this to be GP2 considering last season. I think most of them were a bit all over the place last season. Where do you think EKG was GP4, weren't he? But people do improve, and it's where they've been put now.
Yeah, people start off in divisions when new game came out, and then throughout the season they've improved, the paces improved, themselves moving up. Obviously, SFR Magi was the winner of GP4 last season, and he's found himself now in GP2. So it just shows.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got the boss man himself, Mr. Sonic Cup, in the Red Bull. It's kind of strange seeing these guys, all in the cars now from last season. We'll see how they all.
Yeah, it's going to be a little getting used to, especially with like it's going to be getting used to really, because I think Mad G was in the Merc last season and now he's in the Williams. It's just it's all over the place really. But it's going to take some getting used to, but hopefully by Miami at the end of the season we should know. As leave Mr. Wiggles starting his lap, has already started his lap, sorry, heading in towards turn 3, and is nice and easy through that corner. You don't want to spin it, of course, because it's an easy corner to spin there because of the how bumpy it is. It's a very bumpy circuit, to be honest. It's not very smooth as the two Ferraris give each other so.
Yeah, I find the sector 2 to be a little bit more bumpy than the previous game. To be the sort of double wing number that he's coming into now.
Yeah.
He did get it right.
Looks like he finds it a little bumpy there and ends up a little wide there, but he hasn't invalidated at least. First sector 2, oh, little slide and he is invalidated. As energy down, I believe. No. Who will it be first? It will be Mad G. Mad G, next driver to come across the line with a valid lap, it will be. He is currently 51.3 through the middle sector. Nice and easy through the chicane. And heading up to the double right. Easy to go wrong here, easy to hit that inside curve and just spin it. Oh, drifting there. Yeah, nice little drift there from Mad G, keeping it just in the lines. And yeah, and the bear now is 15-1. Mad G currently on pole as Liam goes and smashes it with a 13.5. As here comes Energy Ram now with a 13.7. Only 2 tenths off, and that is Sonic Hawk with a 17.8. And EKG MCFC, Mad G's teammate, currently the leader of the Williamses in P3 and a purple sector 3 as well. And the good thing about qualifying as well, you can go for multiple runs because the tyres don't get worn, do they? It's just nice for that.
I think he pushed that before the ERS went out.
Yeah, as Relics goes to P4 and Jag Kings, I believe, he's going to be starting his lap. Followed by Martha Wash to finish his first lap of the session. Coming up towards line, it'll be P7 for Martha Wash in the Haas. I believe who will it be next? It'll be Liam. And he goes even faster this time. Wow, what a lap.
Sonic Bob now, I think he made a mistake in his previous laps.
Yeah, 3 seconds up. And it is going to be P2. What a lap. Just ahead of Energy Dan as well. The two directors putting on a show in wet qualifying at the minute. Yeah, I think he was recharging the ERS as Doran come around the final corner now, 3 tenths up in that middle sector. And in that AlphaTauri he goes and stays in P7, 7 tenths up. Now 3 tenths off, Mad G in front.
Imagine most of these guys will go on to improve.
Yeah, as you get more comfortable with conditions as well as the session goes on. As here comes Chad Kings up towards the line now. Looking quite quick here, and it's going to be P7 with a 14.2. And Mr. Wiggles out of nowhere, I did not see that coming. A 13.1, and that is a nice lap. I believe Mad G crossed the line as well. I think he might be starting his push lap now. Oh, a little slide through turn 1. He's struggling with the conditions, and maybe putting a dry setup on to try and keep that race performance.
Energy Dan is on a good lap here. He's 3.5
and of course that will put him in P2 at the minute, maybe P1 if he can improve through the final corner. EKG MCFC out of nowhere, just beating Mr. Wiggles, and Energy Dan goes to P3 with a 13.2. And they're all within a tenth of each other in that top 3. And here comes Dawn up towards line. It might be a a recharge lap, and it looks like a recharge lap. Gogs has joined now, and Oliver has joined as well. So we have 13. So Jad King's 3 tenths up on his last time, heading through the final 2 corners now at turn 10. And up towards the line he goes. It will be for Jad King's P6. Nice lap for him. There's a yellow flag in sector 2. I believe that might be Mad G letting someone through. Sorry, EKG MCFC letting someone through. Mad G now starting lap as well. As I believe it's the Beard up next. 2 tenths up at the minute. Stays in P11. Only a 10th gained for the GP4 champion last season, I believe. No, sorry, that was the season before. That was my mistake.
So you get the guys that come out within three to 4 laps, like, I'll come in now, get a recharge, get a refuel.
Yeah, and
situation, 10 minutes to go in the session, what would be your thinking here, Smithy? Do you go out, try and get another quick 3 laps in, come back in again? Or just wait and then go for your final run?
It would depend on what the weather's going to be like in the race. If it's going to be inters or wet, I'd wait. But if it's going to be dry the whole race, I'd just use the inters up and try and get as fast and as comfortable with the conditions as I can. As Sonic Wolf went to P4 as well, as we were speaking.
Yeah, he does. Pretty tight up there at the top.
Yeah.
P1 all the way down to P9, all separated by less than a second.
Yeah, and Doran just a little off that, as I believe the Bear coming up towards the line has been validated. Yeah, as Oliver starts setting his first lap of the session, currently in the spray of the Bear. Oh god, that was close. Just coming out of turn 1, the Bear moving out the way, and Oliver right behind him.
Good to see Oliver back in the grid again. He's been sort of here and there recently, but he's working everything. He's not been able to race as much as normal. I do know that he is a wet weather specialist now, Oliver, so let's see what he can do here today.
Yeah, but most people claim they're a wet weather specialist until it actually comes to wet weather.
Oliver really is. He's really good.
Yeah, there's a little switch out of turn 4 there, heading into turn 5. Nice long left-hander, you don't want to... Oh god, yeah, you don't want to do that, you don't want to hit that curve. Still hitting a purple sector 2, but that might cost him a lot of lap time. As heading into the final corner.
You know, both Masters just covered of a bind when it comes to the sector times. They give out sectors to everybody.
Oh, and he's logged out.
Oh, that's a shame.
Just as he was finishing his lap as well. Hopefully he can get back in.
It is the same old Oliver, but he's back.
Yeah, well, nothing can be as worse as my internet in Season 10, let's be honest. As Liam, started his lap now. And if you remember that, back in Japan, that was a horrible internet. I think it ended up taking about 5 people out on the 4 meter lap. Was my internet?
I think a lot of the issues from previously as well
was the game.
servers.
Yeah.
Liam took a lot of Kirby, took the correct entry into there.
Yeah, to see if he can improve through the sector 2. Right on the curb there. He's taking the esports line as well.
I don't know about the rest, but that corner we just came out of, take the curb there as well in the drive. I'm not sure about the rest.
Yeah, it's nice and wide lines. 2/10 up to minute. This could put him on for about pole position. Oh, slide out of the chicane there. Careful sector 2 apparently though, as I believe he held that before anyway. As heading through turn 9 and through turn 10 now. Perfectly fine through those 2 corners and up towards the line. What will it be? Will it be the first into the 12s? No, it'll be a 13-2. That slide really costing him at the end of his lap. And damn! Out of nowhere, so close to the 12s as well. About a 10th off now. And his teammate as well, Martha Wasp. What can he do? Towards the line. I believe he's not using any ERS yet. No ERS being used. As I believe the Bear as well. 7 lap old tyres. And Mad G as well on his out lap after the 5 lap stint, I believe it was, on those inters. As Mr. Wiggles looking to reclaim that pole position. 4 seconds off, might have been an out lap for him. As Relics as well, coming round the final corner. 2/10 up the minute on those 4 lap holes, 3 lap holes inters. Just about to run out of energy on 4%. Moves us to P5, nice for Relics in that Ferrari. He might want to sit now and get new tyres, maybe.
So is going on 8 lap old tyres now, so another push that.
And Dan as well, first into the 12s. First into the 112s. Honestly, if the rain looks to have eased off compared to what it was earlier, we can check on Gogs, as that is what we started on the start of the session. It looks, honestly, it looks like it's getting drier a little bit, and you can start to see those lines coming in, which is a telltale sign it's going to start raining, or it's going to stop raining once those black lines coming on the track. So it might be easing off just towards the end of the session. And maybe being the last one out might get you pole position with this weather. As Oliver as well, yellow flag, that I believe is the Bear on those 8 lap old inters. He might be pitting now after doing the whole session on that set of tyres as well, I believe.
Yeah, I think he come in, get some fresh rubber, get out, get a couple of laps in. Short track round here, as you can see, only a minute 13.
Yeah, and maybe even to like the minute 3s if you're a GP1 driver. And yeah, that's in the dry as well. And this is usually this wet track is usually the average around most dry tracks, I think. Oh, Oliver at the final corner, sliding where the specialist goes to P1 after the slide. Whoa! What a lap! And sliding out of that final corner as well, he could improve. Brilliant lap, and you were talking about how he was where the specialist. I do believe you now. Yeah, what a lap! Oh, EKG 2/10 up and just about taking up that final corner with his teammate behind him. He would have set a 13-2 which would not improve them. And Matt G goes to pole now.
I think so. Matt G, he's been nearly a second there, so that is definitely an indication that the track
It's drying out. Yeah, Mr. Wiggles as well, moving down MCFC down a position. Liam looks to be pitting. Who is that in front? I believe that is SFR the Beard on nearly 10 lap holes. I believe it'll be 10 lap holes now. 10 lap goals, wow.
Racing the Bears just testing for tyre wear, see what he could do in the race. Is that what's going on?
Maybe. Because I don't think he'll have enough time to get back out now. As it might be a little too late. As Oliver, here we go towards the line, as invalidated. He might be doing a recharge lap now. As Sonic Hawk, I believe, behind him, and Energy down behind him as well. 3 seconds off in that middle sector. Could be going for a bank not a bank off, sorry, a recharge.
Trying to get the last run in as late as possible.
Yeah, sometimes it can work for you. I think you want to get out as late as possible, but you don't want to leave it too late where when you're trying to warm your tyres or go for a slower lap and let people through, you fail. Yeah, and it's very embarrassing to happen to you, as I've experienced a few times.
So that would have to try and understand.
So Maggi retiring in the pit lane. Maggi retiring in the pit lane. Dan about 10th down at the minute, but still pushing with Oliver right behind him as well. Gareth Vickers says, Martin, you're super tooth and have a good evening. Gareth says that in chat. Yeah, I thought I'd just say that as well. Good evening, everyone. I just went straight in. As up towards the line, here comes Dan. And it shows 2 tenths ahead of Maggi at the minute. And Oliver starting his final push lap now. You can see his ERS getting charged up and slower lap, trying to get just far enough away from Dan so he can't get in his struggles here. And the Ferraris as well, looking to finish their laps, rally to at least finishing his lap. Little wide through that turn 9, heading through towards turn 10. Nice through the curve, don't want to hit that sausage curve as it will launch you miles off the track. Up towards the line, it'll be P7 for Relics, unless he can get another lap in. Same for Mr. Wiggles and MCFC. Nice lap for the Williams. As I believe, I've actually pressed my home button there. Jag King's moved up to P8.
Have Oliver now through sector 2. He was a 10.5 up. So
3 tenths up.
3 tenths up now. So yeah.
And he made a mistake out the final corner on his first lap. He did have a big slide out the final corner. Nearly ended up. Yeah. This could be. Depends on what the Ferraris can do behind him. And Liam as well. He's on the fresh enters. And Oliver goes to provisional pole. Nearly in the 11s now. Let's see what Liam can do behind him on those fresh enters as well. Gog's not getting a lap in. Liam in purple. Liam's in purples at the minute, but he's a second off at the minute. He needs to gain a second in this final sector to get this pole. Actually, it will be now. It will be pole.
Little back slapper there.
See what he does out the final corner. Great exit out the final corner. Up towards the line. It will be second. 6 thousandths off pole position. Jag Kings as well up towards the line. Stays in P9. And EKG not set another lap time. Mavros finish as well. So it'll be Oliver on pole, wet weather specialist as you said, Martin, followed by Liam in P2, EKG, MCFC in P3, Energy down in P4, Mad G in P5, Michael Wasp and Mr. Wiggles on P6 and 7, Relics, Jag Kingston, Sonic Hawk rounds off your top 10. Doran, The Bear and Gogs are just outside that top 10 position. And,
fantastic quality there, and it just showed that it paid to be out as late as possible at the end there. All of the top 3, top 4 guys were sort of one of the back runners in lap times, so Interesting strategy from the bear for having laps on the tyres.
Yeah, well, that might indicate a wet race.
It might. Maybe he was keeping his inters for the race. We'll soon see.
So, what are your predictions for the race then, Martin? Seeing this qualifying grid?
I think if it's wet weather, if Oliver's internet connection can last the race, he has a chance of winning and being on the podium. To be honest, all of these guys, I've seen them all race. You know, even Magine, P5, Mindful Wasp, Mr. Wiggles, all those guys, all the way down to, you know, everybody, Sonic Hawk, all these guys are capable of winning the race. So I really don't know. I hate to call it. I'm not going to do that because I'm known for the commentators' curse.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to put that curse on them.
Yeah, well, I'm always the opposite.
Yeah, set up nicely. Let's see how the race pans out.
Yeah, to be honest, I would love a Mad G podium, to be honest. Going from GP4 Championship, moving up 2 divisions, and going straight to a podium dry race at the minute by the look of things.
Dry. At the moment.
For the moment, it's dry, but it clear skies as well.
Which means they get a beautiful look up into the forest from turn 1 up the hill to turn 2.
Yeah, and you can see that here as well. You can see the nice hills of Styria.
Yep.
As we get a nice view of a DHL billboard. Not a billboard, sorry, a sponsorship. Billboard.
So, what is the preferred strat around here then, Smithy?
I actually have them all. I have, because I am an esports team, I get every single strategy, but it's just hard medium, like every track really. Medium, hard, medium, it's not really a surprise really.
Which is a bit of a surprise in the game how bad the softs are.
Yeah.
You understand maybe some tracks the softs don't work great, but it's almost every track in the game, the softs are dead after 3-4 laps.
Yeah,
sometimes even after 1 lap they're dead. So they've kind of made it that the strat is boring, but I guess the softs aren't that great in real life, are they?
Oliver says rain at the end of the race.
Ooh.
This could get very interesting as Oliver's on the hards. He might be going straight to the end here. So he might sacrifice his start.
Is everybody going to go hards?
Everyone's on hards apart from Liam, Mr. Wiggles, the 2 Ferraris on the mediums, and the bear. So it depends on how early this rain comes. Oliver might have nailed it. Liam might have nailed it. Anyone could have nailed this. Depends on how good the tyre saving is as well.
Yeah, I wonder how late the rain's going to go.
Yeah, as I believe I've had a league race before, and last 2 laps I think it was France. And was dry the whole race. So it started off inches and then went to dry. And it's a 28 lap race there, isn't it? And I think lap 27 it started raining. And I ended up bottling the win on the last lap. So yeah, it just goes to madness.
In a wet race last season, season 4 at France, and it was a wet race the entire race, and then it dried up last 2 laps to go. And I believe Yanni was
yeah.
Racing-GP2
I remember, yeah. Stick it out. Got a puncture. Yeah.
Puncture at the final corner, I think it was.
Yeah, I remember. No, when it was in the long right, I remember posting it on TikTok when I was media admin.
Yeah,
and it was.
Who knows? Maybe we'll see some drama along those lines.
Yeah, and it is dry at the minute.
And of course our obligatory Gox, who uses to set lovely lap times. He likes to always do the first challenge.
Yeah, it's a bit like Gar Adams as well. Like every single time last season in GP1, when he reserved, he was just always at the back. Never set a qualifying lap time as they all come up to the grid now. Oliver nicely parked. EKG with a disqualification. Poor from him. Mindful Wasp as well. exactly not what you want. Energy Dan facing a bit more left. Maybe trying to...
Getting much on that racing line.
Yeah. As it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights here in Austria. And the hills are alive, not with the sound of music, but with engines as they go in towards turn 1. Into towards turn 1, it's a great start for Liam. Energy Dan already jumping. And the Williams swap places. Energy Dan up to P2, brilliant. A little early on the exit was Liam. Mad G up to P3, EKG, and it's 3 wide nearly into turn 2 here, and turn 3. And round the outside it's going to be EKG into turn 3. And he's going to drive around the outside, keeping it clean, no contact at the minute. Or keeping it clean. Sonic Hawk with a spin actually, I believe. Same for Relics, as they drop down massively. Oliver still leads, Mad G into P2. Brilliant racing between all of them. And Liam, even on the medium, supposedly the better tyre for the start, has a poor start. Oh no, man, Energy Dan. I believe he might have hit that curve. That curve always spins it. Oh, both of them, yeah. I didn't even notice Mad G was down there. Liam into P2 now. Michael Wasp as well, up the inside of the Ferrari. Through. That's a very brave move to do, and he nearly pulled off. Gone through there 5 seconds for ignoring yellow flags. That's unlucky for him, as he might be able to get that removed. Oliver with the fastest lap, of course, he's the first across the line. A second gap already.
Yeah, Oliver got a good start and was able to sort of stay out any trouble and get himself out of the race range already, but saved what Liam did now initially there.
And the Bear, remember where he starts? He was P12 on the grid. P5 already. That is just amazing. Like, I've never seen such a good start in my life, really. Oh, squeeze there. I mean, the room was left, but it was a little risky to go for it. It could have been a disaster, and it was worth backing out, to be honest. You don't want to get into an incident earlier, especially if you're on the mediums, because you don't want to, or the hards even as well. Oh yeah, Gogs as well, he was P30, so they both moved up the same amount of positions, but here comes the Bear again. He's quicker on those mediums at the minute, but it depends how quick they fall off. As Oliver and Liam with fast lap now, he's pulling into that gap, as the Bear gets a way better exit than Michael Wasp, and into P4, but Michael Wasp will get that DRS on. Oh, Mr. Wiggles with a poor exit there through turn 1, I believe. As the Bear now in DRS, and Mr. Wiggles dropping down a little bit as well now. But the Bear getting closer and closer, as Oliver is now got the DRS of Liam behind him, and a 3-second gap even further to Mr. Wiggles.
Yeah, these guys doing what they can to maximise the...
Oh! Michael Wasp has made contact. Late braking and has collected EKG. Late braking manoeuvre and locking up, I believe, maybe, or just hitting the curb. And EKG getting caught up there. Has he got some front wing damage? And the Bear, after such a great start, back down to square one. And Dan, yeah, and EKG has spun as well. And Michael Wasp, I didn't quite catch that. Yeah, I didn't quite catch that. Anyway, as Mad G back up to P7, this race has just been crazy off the start. As yellow flags again, and it is the Bear and Sonic Hawk, I believe. Sonic Hawk into the pits. And the Bear, after such a great start, EKG into the pits as well, maybe some front wing damage. And the Bear, after such a great start, all the way back down to 13. And Mad Wasp as well down with his teammates. But Oliver still leading. And Gogs in P4 as well now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
He is on a harder tyre as well, so he's going long.
Yeah, you would want to go along though, wouldn't you? To be honest, like Oliver setting perfect sector too.
I think the hard tyre is the preferred tyre to start almost everywhere.
Yeah, I think Oliver is running a higher downforce setup as he is way quicker in the middle sector compared to Liam. So he might be running that wet setup compared to the Aston.
Yeah, I was seems content. Sitting behind Oliver, he's not really using DRS. Well, I say that, he's pushing it out.
He's going to go up the inside in towards turn 3. And he's going to give him a little squeeze there, a little tap between the two. Oliver trying to get the better exit, and he has got the better exit with the switchback and the DRS. He's going to retake that lead almost instantly.
Yeah, great fight.
A brilliant respect between the two of them. And that is what you love about these lower divisions. You have a lot more respect compared to the really quick esports guys at the top in GP1. As
Will they fight each other, or will they pull each other along?
Yeah, it's
Maximise what they can out of the race.
yeah, maybe some team orders, maybe just swap positions on the DRS straight, have one quicker down the DRS, and could benefit them and maybe get them onto the podium. As Mr. Wiggles now gaining on Liam as well. I think it was a 4 second gap, as he's now second fastest lap. He is really quick here, Mr. Wiggles, by the looks of things. Really starting to push now. As there comes Liam again, in towards turn 3, up the inside again. He's gonna keep it nice and easy. Oliver with the better exit again, but Liam with that straight line speed has kept the lead this time. In towards turn 4 they go though. Here comes Oliver. He's gonna go up towards the outside. He's gonna fake him one way. He can go the other. He's gonna try to switch back on him. It's not gonna work for him. Very adventurous by Oliver, but didn't work for him in the end. No, he just needs to sit behind until that next DRS zone.
Yeah, I think, these guys have got to think about, do they want to battle now, or do they want to battle towards the end of the race? Because the longer they fight, they just bring everyone else from behind back into the race again. As you see, Mr. Wiggles now down to 1.1.
He's really starting to benefit from these two battling in front. As I believe he was going to set another fastest lap then, but he set the fastest lap last time. So at the minute he is on for 16 points with the new point system as well. I believe that was for what was that decision for? I'm actually curious on that. Is it for yeah, closer? Yeah, I think that is honestly a good idea.
Losing some time now, back to 1.7 from almost being DRS. So.
But this might kill Oliver's tyres. He might not want to stick down for too long if he wants to last the rain. Depends on when that rain comes from. As we do know, the rain just is random on this game. It'll say the end of the race and it'll come lap 10. And it'll just change like mad.
When it actually arrives.
And it can really mess your strategy up as well. As I think a few people have done that in.
These guys aren't going slow, but they're really pushing their personal bests.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to just get away from the person behind you if you're Oliver and Mr. Wiggles on those mediums. You don't want to have him close to the exit. At his pace, with the way he's been absolutely flying through the gap at the minute. Could just be Mr. Wiggles' dominance until rain maybe. When Oliver's setup comes back to him. But still hanging in that DRS at the minute is Oliver. And that 30M might be killing his tyres a little bit though. As Mr. Wiggles gains in that middle sector where Oliver has that 30 Jag Kings and Gog swapping positions a few times as well. Maybe a bit of team orders dragging each other along. As dragging along is Relics for Doran and Mad J. As Mad J might look at Doran if Doran doesn't get the DRS here. And out on the final corner, Doran might just miss out on it. No, he just gets in it. And Mad J looking for a fight back now. And in towards turn 1. He's just behind him with Doran getting that DRS. He's not able to get the move done. As Doran's getting pulled along by Relics and kind of a big train. Is my G just... Oh, very wide for Relics and he's hit him! Oh, no. That's going wide. Was a little bit of Relics. Going wide there. And Doran getting hit round by my G. As any little tap on this game, it just destroys you. It destroys you and it just stuns you. It's really unrealistic, but we have to deal with what we've got. As Relics with 83 seconds. And he hasn't got DRS down this the start finish straight now. As
He'll be too overly concerned because he does know that it's possible going for the better tyre, and he's able to if there's no range left.
yeah, it will depend on how quick those mediums fall off as well. As looking behind, the Dogs and Jag King's swap position again, maybe a hit up towards the top of the hill. As Jag King still behind his teammate, maybe pulling Relics in as well, and Magi just outside of second, maybe gaining that time as after the contact with Doran. And just looking up and down the field, it's a bit spread out, really, isn't it? Really, is
a couple of accidents, a couple of spins, some guys having a bit early, it was kind of stretching the field out.
Yeah, but
the big DRS train that you would be used to seeing.
yeah, I'm also glad it's not really a safety car race because they aren't really fun. It's just, especially when you're by yourself on those races, it's just very boring, really. As you don't have the other person to talk to. You're kind of just sitting there.
If the rain is going to come, it'll change everything.
Yeah, it depends on. Also, there might be a safety car then when the rain comes. Maybe a bit of crash skate by someone. That was a joke, of course. No one's going to be there, hopefully.
But really, the closest battle we have on track is between two Mercedes and
Mad G.
Relics.
Yeah, Mad G pushing to get back to where he was earlier. As he was in P2 Spinner. I think he was Doran was behind him. I think he might have hit that outside sausage curb. As yeah, and Liam stretching that lead out to about 2.5 seconds now. Starting to dominate this race at the minute. But depends how quick those tyres go off. Like we said, Jag King still gaining on his teammate, and Mad G sticking in the DRS of Relics and trying to gain towards the Mercedes and eventually get past them and push towards Mr. Wiggles. And there's a spin, it's for the Bear. It is for the Bear. And Jag Kings and Relics swap positions in towards turn 3. Next to the team we're between the two of them. Mad G might have to run here, he's 4 tenths back. Heading in towards turn 4. And yeah, he just doesn't have that pace down the streets at the minute compared to that Ferrari. There's the closest battle on track at the minute, apart from Sonic Hawk and the Bear down in P11 and 12. There's not much going on the track at the minute. It's both an exciting race and a boring race at the same time. It's going to be come down to strategies to get us at the end of the day.
On the better tyre. Mr. Wiggles third with Jag King almost behind. This will all involve as the race goes on.
Yeah, if you look at the top 6, you've got 3 of them on hards, 3 of them on mediums. It's completely split, as it actually looks like it's getting a little cloudier here.
Yeah,
this could benefit the mediums, but it depends on. But the hards might be better, considering they'll have less wear on them when the rain does come, if it comes, when the mediums are still usable.
If I was Maggie, I would really be doing that. Push by relic. There's no point wasting time to guys ahead. So with relic drop back a few tenths, falling back a few tenths of that, the dogs and Jenkins in front. I think Maggie's got slightly better.
Oh, Oliver!
Oh,
He spun it at turn 1. And this could throw the race wide open here. He's going to have to gain buckets of time now. Maybe hitting that sausage curve on the exit of turn 1. Easily done on this game. And it gets rid of all your grip. As most sausage curves do, to be honest. And this could help Jag Kings and Gogs here. They could push onto a podium here. And Relics and Mad G as well. Oh! Oh no!
Wow.
And I could see that coming from when he was on the curb. And Relics ended up still back in front. And you could see on that curb, whenever you hit that curb on the long left, you always end up spinning. It was honestly inevitable from Relics as the Mad GM running so well. As he goes onto the mediums. I'd have thought he'd gone onto the soft, to be honest, and maybe push for the ring. But at the minute, it's staying medium, as there is a spin for Michael Wasp for turn 1 as well. As Oliver now... It is a very hard corner to nail. It's about 90 degree, very fast pace as well, and the curb is just so deadly on the outside that it's really you've got to really risk it, and it didn't work for him there. This could be just Liam using his tyres up and Mr. Wiggles saving them. But at the minute, looking at how, as you can always see, you can see the lines on the tyres. Mr. Wiggles' tyres look a little worse than Liam's. As Liam, oh, that could have been a warning there. You don't want to do that too many times. As he looks a lot quicker down the main straight as well, Liam. As I'm just going to check the position change. Liam up 1, of course, qualified PC. Mr. Wheels has moved up a big bunch of positions. Same for Gogs, the P8. And it's looking really good for Gogs at the minute. Moving up 8 positions from P13. And as he's now starting to fall out with his teammate as well in that third game. Maybe starting to save those tyres a bit, as Jag Kings and Oliver will start soon battling for the final podium position here. As over the curves there, Gogs with the 3 seconds. I think he's got 8 seconds worth of penalty now. He'll have to save that 5 seconds, of course, in the pit stop. Here comes Relics off. Jag Kings up the inside, in towards turn 3. He's going to back out of that one and save it for turn 4 and maybe make the move stick there rather than risk losing it down here. But he hasn't got the better exit. He's actually sacrificed the exit there. Mad G with the fastest lap now on a 1:07.2, which is 5 seconds quicker than the quality time, I believe. Maybe 6 seconds, something along that lines. But Jag Kings anyway in P4 at the minute, chasing down Oliver. And Mad G chasing down Michael Wasp as well. Who it's a very stretched out path as well. Again, like you said, it's battles all over the grid, considering how stretched out it is as well. Oh, I just saw rain. Rain's dropping. Rain is dropping. It depends how quick it does get wet. Looks like loads on the. If you're look on that McLaren, looks like loads of it. Yeah, that is the question. As Oliver 11 seconds back, spinner, Mindful Wasp, damage to the front wing, and is going to have to pit as he has missed the entry. Dawn as well getting. It could be Inters already. See what Liam does. He's going to stay out for this lap. As I believe, do you have to stay to the inside when you're pitting? And like. Yeah, as into the pits. There's 1 in, 2 in, 3 in. Mindful Wasp, the bear being lapped now as well. So the bear's being lapped, Mindful Wasp is in, and Jag Kings is in. Now the front runners are going to be monitoring this, see how quick they are and see how much they gain, and see where they end up coming out. As at the minute, it does still look dry. As it does look dry, but it is still active. The dry is quicker, but it is slippy. Doran's in the DRS, see what he does. And Maggi's in as well now for the Inters. From those mediums, as he comes out just ahead of his teammate and just ahead of the leader, Liam, who stays out for 1 more lap. And Oliver as well, staying out for another lap, I believe. He has the lap card Mindful Wasp in front of him, and it does look very into weather now. DRS disables, it's in. Everyone should dive in this lap now. Relics staying out at the minute. Relics is in. Yeah, Relics in very late there, crossing the white line. I'm believing on to do that, but I don't want to really snitch anyone. But Liam and Mr. Wiggles and Oliver, look at that gap for Oliver. He's brought that down to 3 seconds from I think about 6, maybe 7. And that, yeah, that's amazing for him. So the Inters should last to the end of the race now as well. Inters should last to the end of the race. As blue flags from Mindful Wasp on those Inters, Oliver is starting to fall back from the Haas now, as the Haas of Mindful Wasp is starting to become unboosted. Mr. Wiggles really struggling there, and that gap is so close now. Mr. Wiggles in, Oliver in. Liam stays out another lap, that could be costly. Doesn't think it's wet enough. And let's ride. I'm going to ride on board with him. I wanted to see what he's like. As you can see the puddles. Yeah, 10-second gap sliding. Oh, that might have been a fatal error for his win. As of course Gog's staying out as well. Gog's on the 20 lap old hards, but of course, oh no, his teammate picked 2 laps ago, didn't he? So it's not really a risk. That was where, as Oliver now in a 10th, sorry, a second of Mr. Wiggles, from about 3 seconds it was last lap. So really struggling. Doran's in as well. Here is Liam. He's trundling. He's trundling around the track, which is not wanting to do at the minute. Into the lane, a little wide as well. Doesn't want to risk it or get a 5 second.
Get away with it.
Yeah, just about. As Gog's in as well. There's yellow flags, that is a spinner for Oliver.
No.
And the wet weather, oh, it's again, oh, nice save there. That was a brilliant save from Oliver. And now he's got everything to do, he's P5. with a huge gap to their leader, as Gogs as well saving that 5 seconds. Will Oliver come out ahead of him? I believe he will. So Oliver in P4 with about he's got ages. He's got about 20 seconds to the leader. Does he have that 20 seconds in him? As I believe Energy Dan has spun it at the final corner. If there's yellow flags there, green flags again though. There's Liam.
Having a lot of spins and bits of contact too.
Yeah, it is very slippery at the minute.
Now it comes down to who can excel in these conditions and start wheeling other people in.
From the qualifying, it looked like Oliver.
No DRS, of course, so
Natural passing.
make it much more difficult.
As Liam still leading by about 9 seconds to Jag Kings, to Mr. Wales and Jag Kings and Oliver. Of course, Oliver getting the pole position in this weather, but at the minute, sliding and struggling. He goes a little wide and gets that 3 seconds. And another huge, not huge really, but another nail in the coffin for Oliver in this race, but still under 13, 14 laps to go. As anything can happen, as Doran is in as well for a new front wing. Might had a spin. And Mad G, oh, a little squirrely out of turn 1. There's, yeah, Oliver sliding again. It's starting to get, it is very wet now compared to, but will it become full wet, do you reckon, at the end of the race?
I don't think so, it's not raining hard enough by the way, so
Yeah, it might be become.
I'll see a race line on the track, fall within a couple of seconds.
Oh no, Oliver! He's fully lost it now and into his front wing. Front wing into the barrier. And he's out, and he's not going to be happy with himself there, and he's, yeah, lost his front wing. He's going to have to pit, and he'll fall back to about P9 maybe, if he is struggling around here. Mr. Bear as well starts to close in on his teammate with Sonic Hawk and Marth lost behind. And although the grid is very stretched out, it's starting to close in on itself again with lapped cars though, which
yeah, given there's what 12, 13 laps left, depending on how bad the wing damage is, all of them might stay out and stick with it.
yeah, is Liam now increasing that gap to Mr. Wiggles. Went from about 8 seconds to 9 seconds now in the last couple of laps. There's Jag Kings as well. I don't know if he's starting to gain on Mr. Wiggles or not, but it's starting to look like he is. Gogs and Relics as well. Ooh, very, very slidey there. See if Oliver. Oh. And in the wet, you of course don't get any turning. And he's got a 5 second as well, and he's retired from the session. There's a 5 second. Yeah, there was still points there, but I'm sure he's just a little mad at himself. But there is, of course, always next week, which is. I actually can't remember what next race is. It is. It's Silverstone as well. Home GP for many. As Oliver becomes our first retirement from the session in on lap 25, which is a really good stint with no retirements, to be honest. And I think that's the longest I've ever seen without a retirement in a race, which is really good. Anyway, Of course, there's a few points up for grabs as Michael Wasp has now spun it as well and is about to be under lap blue flag. As sector 2 when there's been contact between the Bear and Sonic Hawk. Sonic Hawk in the gravel, the Bear in the barrier. So what has happened between these two? Sonic Hawk going really slow, letting him back through. This might all be on Sonic Hawk, considering he has let him back through.
That's an indication that...
Our Dawn as well. It's really slow as he lost his front wing. Yes, he spun it out of the chicane. And wide again into the pit lane, and it is all kicking off here. Just, this is madness. There's into the lane comes Doran. Into the lane might come Sonic Hawk as sliding and just keeping it out of the pit lane is Sonic Hawk. Maybe not any damage. But Mr. Wiggles coming up behind him now. And getting really it's again starting to stretch out a bit now with relics.
Liam looking comfortable out there
Yeah, let's just hope not for Elite Six. But no, I don't really. I wish for Elite Six, but I wish no one to retire, if you know what I mean. Because I mean, they're always nice to have a Elite Six car. It throws a bit of a spanner in the works, people. Just yeah. It's something that just is a bit madness. I think ended GP4 ended with a Elite Safety car, and ended up with Dantilar, who I think was 28 points heading into the weekend. He ended up losing the championship somehow after a sprint race and an absolute pure madness of a normal race. Maggi ended up winning that race, of course, and winning the championship.
Yep, that's right.
And where is Dantilar? I think he is still in GP3, isn't he? I believe he might be.
I think he's a reserve for
Yes, he's a reserve in GP2. Oh, and Sonic Hawk's out on the in the pit lane. I thought that was a crash for half a second. I just saw Sector 3 yellows pop up. I thought it might have been at the final corner or something. There's, Liam still leading by 10 seconds now. This could be a domination for him. It looked to be an Oliver domination from qualifying. But no, it's going to be a Liam domination at the minute. But still another 8 laps to go, sorry. Who knows what can happen in those 9 laps. There's Doran as well, 15 seconds off his teammate. Not much going on really, apart from a Relics battle with Gogs.
Yeah, Relics and Gogs. The Relics is, well, he's getting in there, does not have that DRS to help him. Finding it difficult to get close enough for an attempt at an overtake.
Yeah, that's always the toughest part about the entries. As it actually looks like it's getting a little heavier, the rain now. As, it does look a lot heavier, the rain, compared to what it started as. And it might, it could be a bit of madness at the end. It could go full wet. That could be pure madness at the end. Because if you stayed out on the instance, that could just be, it could be, oh, Relics getting so close to the back of that mare. As going a little wide, there was Gogs. Of course, there is. Let's get this point system up. There is 8 points up for grabs here between these two, 8 and 6. Of course, with Gogs getting the 8 and 6 for Relics at the minute. And Mr. Wheels currently out for 13 points. As with the fastest lap. Oh, sorry, no, it's Mad G. God, you took that. Yeah, Mad G currently getting. There's the Mad Wasp in the pits. Anyway, Mad G, he'll be getting currently. Oh, Mad Wasp on the wet. So could this be a sign? It could be a risk for my Wasp, but it could be something for his teammate to find out. Are the wets faster than the inters at the minute? As it does look very wet, let's be honest.
6 laps remaining, so
If you were Mr. Wiggles, would you pit?
is the delta... No.
I mean, 6 laps, it depends on what my Wasp does, to be honest, because if my Wasp starts to absolutely fly on those wets, if I was Mr. Wiggles, I'd pit and try and... Because the wets... Doran's spun it again. Yeah, he'll come out just around Gog's relics as
Then you've got to take into account is the delta between the wet and it's definitely wet out there, really wet out there. Relics is falling really far back from Gog's there.
yeah, maybe getting caught out with that with the left car on the way, and a second gain there for Michael Wasp. He's gained a second already on the bear. Mad G with the 3 second now. Could it be worth it? It could be a very risky strategy for any of the drivers here, but it could be worth it if they, because you could just start to struggle a lot. Doran onto the wets now as well. As Mad G pits for wets. And with the inters as well, they might be a little dead at the end of the race. It could be honestly worth a risk to pit for those wets. If I was Liam, I'd maybe pit for the wets because you've still got a decent gap and you won't come out that far behind. Also, you'll have the wets to your advantage. But it could just go anyone's way at this race. Because
almost 50 pit stop, 6.5 seconds definitely wet tyre conditions compared to on Ferrari. This is how slippy it is. Rob seems to be handling it better.
yeah, as Liam nearly getting a free pitch stop now as well. But Mad G is now almost a lap down. He's got about a minute and 13 seconds to gain, which could, if he was closer, I'd definitely say it could be doable, as Doran is off. And
Ferrari almost
10 seconds. Is that Mr. Wiggles nearly spinning? Yeah. But Michael Wasp, he's 26 seconds. S4 Mad G. S4 Mad G is going to be the benchmark really of what, like.
Yeah, and he has closed the gap, and the CFC
yeah, it's unlucky for him. As yeah, so Doran, he'll get sorry, not Doran. So Mad G's currently 31 seconds off Dan on the inters with 5 laps to go. Let's see how much he gains in the next couple of laps. Jag Kings as well, he's looking to handle it well. He's looking handling it well. Yeah, he has a free pit stop. Yeah, this is full wet conditions now. There's yellow flags. That is a bear letting drivers through, I believe. Oh no, it was just Doran's car deciding to pass itself. I don't understand why they do that. They should just despawn it really. Like with the when someone disconnects from quality, you just spawn the car right back into the pit lane, and the map shifted on a lap or no. So I think that's what they should do with the fire cards, but cars like that. But yeah, Jag Kings as well, really closing this gap on Mr. Wiggles now.
Yeah.
And let's see what he can do. Will Mr. Wiggles finally pit for the wets? But it might be too little too late. If he was going to pit for the wets, he'd have to do it a little earlier.
To the end of the race now.
Mad G 3 seconds gained. Spin it at the bait. Yeah, so 4 on the wets at the minute. They're currently going quicker than the cars on the Inters, but the Inters just, yeah, they're too far ahead to really do anything. And as Mr. Wiggles has given it up for Jag Kings, and that ridiculous pace Jag Kings has right now is absolutely amazing on the 15 lap all Inters. As the will he start gaining on Liam to find out here. Mr. Wiggles, I think now is just going to start and try and hold on for the podium. As yeah, look at that, Mike Wasp, the last blue flag car, has unlocked himself on Jag Kings and is absolutely flying away from him at this current rate. As Mad G again, 2 second gain this lap. It's not going to be enough by the end of the race. And if the rain came a little earlier, it could have been a brilliant risk for the wet, but it's not going to pay off at the minute. As lap 35, of course, by 17 seconds now. Absolutely amazing race for him. He's nearly got a few pit stop on Jag Kings as well. And it's amazing, really. This race, it's a very stressful race, to be honest. Only 3 retirements while really late on. No safety cars, a lot of spins, and overall quite a clean race, to be honest.
Yeah, I've been impressed with the guys up here who managed to stick out on the centres and really pull back the positions right now.
Yeah, considering they haven't spun it, and Jag King's starting to gain a little bit on Liam as we'll enter the final lap with our current race leader in the Aston Martin, of course. As here we go, come around that final corner for the second final time as he starts his final lap here. It's Liam at the minute. He's controlled this race from Cinty over to Oliver, and it's a brilliant showing from the Aston Martin. He just needs to keep it clean for one more lap, and he's got an easy win. And let's just see what happens on this lap. As Jag King's now fallen off a little bit as well. Bog's starting to gain on Mr. Wiggles. Relics within 3 seconds. As I'm actually going to get the final situation up. As Relics with a 6, so Energy Down will be in P5 at the minute, which is really impressive for him. Maybe even P4 if Gogs gets another 3, but at the minute looking unlikely. As Mad G starting to gain a lot now, but too little too late for the wets. And what are your thoughts on Liam's drive today, Martin?
Faultless, absolutely faultless. We were a little bit sitting in behind Oliver and focused moment to get the overtake done, and then never looked back, just went out, put in the lap times and controlled the race.
And here he comes to take the first win of the GP3 season by about 17 seconds, slowing down at the final straight. So absolutely amazing race for him. And Jag Kings will come home in P2. Mercedes will lead the constructors as things stand, as Mr. Wiggles in P3. Gogs will come home P4, and Relics really dropping off here as Energy Down getting really close to him. Gogs in P4, Relics will come home in P6 and Energy Down in P5. And Mad Wasp and the Bear in P9 and 10, rounding off your points there. As Mad G coming home and getting 5 points, I believe, and 5 and 3 points for Williams. That's alright for them, I guess. But
from all the guys.
Yeah, very clean. Some of the best driving I've seen in a while. A lot better than me, to be honest. Get some more to do tomorrow. Yeah, it's a very clean race as Liam will win in Austria, followed by Jag King and Mr. Wiggles. And who's your driver of the day today, Martin?
Because Liam won the race, so I'm going to give it to Liam because he never made any mistakes and was completely faultless. However, I do think the points was exceptional. Moving up from last place in red and being able to score P4. So yeah, I think those were the two standout performances.
Yeah, I'll have to agree on with you on that. Brilliant race for Liam from P2 on the grid as well. Getting after a not great start as well, he had to fight back and eventually moving back up into the lead. And never looking back from there really. As I'm gonna check for interviews. So Mr. Wiggles, Jadkins, and Liam. And brilliant race for Liam really, and same for Gogs and Jadkins as well. He's moved up 7 positions there, and both of them doing well. They're both Mercedes, and they've came home with the biggest point total. As let's swap over to the other chat, Martin, as for interviews. As we're currently in the COD one. Where is it? There. So I'll start this up, and yeah. And yeah, like Martin was saying, brilliant race for Jag Kings, and especially Liam as well, and Gogs. And of course, with Liam coming home first, he will lead the Drivers' Championship at the minute. That will be followed by Jag Kings and Mr. Wiggles. Mr. Wiggles should be joining for the interview. Yeah, just waiting for them to join. I'm just trying to get the showroom up. It's been a while since I've done this. Just waiting to see if anyone will join. If anyone else will join, maybe Jag Kings. I'll give them about a minute or two. It looks like Jag Kings won't be joining us. Of course, Liam has to get off. So we'll start with the one and only interviewer today. Oh, hang on. Jag Kings is typing something. Yeah, so we'll just start off with Mr. Wiggles anyway. Mr. Wiggles, great race for you, of course. Ending up in P3 on the podium. How does that feel to start off the season like that?
Yeah, good start. I'm a little bit disappointed I didn't get P2 to be honest, but then last 5 or 6 laps I just couldn't control the car. I lost like 4.5 seconds over a couple of laps to Jag Kings there. But yeah, take 3rd place, good start to the season, hopefully push on from here.
Yeah, and I believe your teammate as well, he came home P6 as well. So I think you're second in the constructors now, depending on the stewards report, of course, if there are any reports. But yeah, second in the constructors, that could be a great boost for your season. What are your goals for the season as well?
Good start for us. I want to be in podiums. He's going to be close this year, and I think there's a lot of good drivers. Liam was rapid though. He was. I think he spent the entire race out in front. Oliver was quick. He just had them 2 spins, which helped me out. Also, that big crash on lap 1 helped as well. I think that took about 3 lads out of the race.
Yeah,
but if I can keep it in podiums, me and Relics do well in drivers and try and win that constructors.
Yeah, I think that's most people's aim to win the constructors really, as it has been a really exciting race, of course. So, what was that like on the final laps? Were you thinking of going to wet, maybe chasing down Liam?
If Jag Kings had gone pitted and got on wet, then I'd have gone in. But that it was my only thinking there. And I thought I'll just put up with it, but it were bad. And Relics, obviously, I were in party with him. He were having the same problem, so we'll put it down to the Ferrari. He just don't like the wet.
Yeah, blame the car.
Yeah, that's it.
And yeah, a brilliant race for you. And what was it like avoiding the lap 1 and chaos? Of course, we had the collision between Mad G and Dan, and I believe there was Sonic Hawk hitting someone, or was it the Bear hitting someone?
Sonic and the Bear.
Sonic and the Bear, yeah, I think.
I come around the corner behind Mindful Wasp, and everyone had spun off track, and we just went through. And then I think he had to brake, so it just gave me enough speed, especially we were on the hards, I were on the mediums, to just get round the outside of him. So I didn't really see what happened, to be honest. I just seen cars spin and a gap, and I just went through it.
Yeah, like part of the Red Sea, really.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, straight through.
Yeah, and it was really unlucky for a lot of people there. I just think it was Sonic getting late on the brakes and spinning around a bit, and EKG MCFC getting caught up in it as well. But other than that, it was a flawless race from you, and yeah, congratulations on your first podium of the season as well.
Yeah, cheers, pal. Looking forward to next week now. Silverstone, good track. Should be some good racing again around there.
Yeah, and what are your thoughts on Silverstone as well?
Like Silverstone, it's a good track. It's a proper racing track in it. It's big, fast. So, yeah, looking forward to next week.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people are looking forward to it. It's a lot of people's home Grand Prix as well, I think half the field at least.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I do like Silverstone, so looking forward to next week.
Yeah, so as I believe Jag Kings is not in the party, so that'll have to wrap it up. Congratulations to our top 3 and our podium, our winner Liam, with a flawless race with a 17-second gap at the end of the race after controlling it from about lap 5 after overtaking Oliver. But anyway, on to Silverstone next week in GP2, and of course tomorrow GP1 at 7:30. We will have coverage on that, and it will be a very exciting race, of course. Same track, Austria. Will it be as chaotic as today? Who knows? You'll have to find out. You'll have to watch it to find out. And anyway, thank you for watching, and we will see you all next week.